This presentation is brought to you by the Beljanski Foundation. Over 50 years of research towards curing cancer the natural way.
Well, welcome all to the science of human optimization. So today I'm going to talk about the science behind many things. So I'm Dr. Roxanne Carfora. I'm board certified in anti-aging and regenerative medicine, and I've been practicing family medicine for over 27 years on Long Island. Today I'm going to speak to you about food, mood, and hormones. I always begin my talks with let food be thy medicine. All of you have heard this over and over again, right? So I won't go into details about that. Dr. Furman has talked excessively about this. So just basically 80% of your diet should be vegetable-based. Now I'm going to speak to you about the science behind it, so get ready for this. The science behind it is called the Krebs Cycle. The Krebs Cycle is the respiration of every single cell in your body. Your cell has to breathe in order for you to breathe. So when you have the Krebs cycle, in there is what's called the mitochondria. This mitochondria, all the food has to be delivered down in through your gastrointestinal system and absorbed to make this mitochondria produce energy so you could run faster and work out harder. So this is what it looks like. This is called the Krebs cycle. Every practitioner needs to know this. We learned this in medical school, and somehow we've forgotten it over the years. So really important. There are 3 phases of the Krebs cycle. First one is digestion, which I'll go into a little more in depth than that. Second one is metabolism. Third one is the production of energy. As you can see, stage 1, if you fail stage 1 and you're not getting an adequate amount of fats, carbohydrates, or proteins, and your body is not absorbing them, you will never get down to phase 3, the production of energy. So please remember this. So this is why. Because fats, when you eat fats, fats break down to cholesterol. Yes, cholesterol is good, folks. Okay, your cholesterol should never be low. Okay, statins decrease this. Statins could decrease fats, decrease cholesterol, and you'll never get to produce hormones. Really, really important. Your carbohydrates produce glucose. Glucose is a good molecule too because that's for muscle energy. Has to get in, remember, to that mitochondria. We've got to go through this whole process to get into that little bit of cell so your cells could breathe. Your proteins break down to amino acids. Amino acids are for your brain. So your brain function, very, very important. So this is where it begins. It begins with the mindset. You make the choice. So you make the choices of a healthy life. So I tell my patients, just stand in front of food. You choose healthy to life, or you're going to choose disease and death. Now, just as simple as choosing water over soda. Water is H2O. You've heard water lectures this weekend also. So it's not only hydrating, it's oxygenating. Remember, your cell is your respiration, so you can breathe. So the major causes of disease are sugar. So sugar, you have 15 cubes of sugar in Coca-Cola, you have 40 cubes in Dunkin' Donuts, and this causes inflammation. Inflammation is acidic. It causes the body to be acidic. You've heard talks about that, right? So sugar equals acid, acid equals inflammation. You will get diabetes, cancer, and cardiovascular disease. So every time you're making the wrong choice, think about a tablespoon of sugar. So think about 15 sugar cubes. Think of things as 40 sugar cubes and save your life. So this is a picture. Picture speaks 1,000 words, right? This is a hormonally imbalanced, acidic, very important person. And that is you or your loved one. And we can make a difference here. As an emergency room doctor in my earlier years, I saw people at end stage of disease. And it was just god-awful. People coming in with heart attacks, people coming in with kidney failure. We could prevent this with, again, let food be thy medicine, right? Hippocrates, before Christ, BC. It's nothing new. We really need to pay attention to this. So the SAD diet, standard American diet, overweight, insulin resistant, on multiple medications. Medications then cause vitamin depletions, hormonal depletion, gut disturbances. Then you get symptoms of fatigue, you get muscle aches, joint aches, and eventually lead to disease. The digestive system. So we're going to start off when you start to make those right choices. You need 8 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Those fruits and vegetables have to get down into the gastrointestinal system. You also need fats, an adequate amount of fats, approximately 20 grams of fat per day. And you need proteins. Proteins are anywhere from 40 grams to up to 120 grams if you're an athlete. My athletes are high proteins, okay? So you have to make sure that you're metabolizing it, getting it to the mitochondria, getting it for cellular energy. So it has to go down, go into the gastric system. Gastric system is a pH. It's acidic pH to digest your fats. If you are suppressing acid in your stomach, you're suppressing fat absorption. You're suppressing fat absorption. You are suppressing cholesterol and hormonal production. Got it? Then it goes down into the small intestine. Small intestine is live. Those are live bacteria down there. They work all day, and I'll get into that. Just a side note, half your body weight in ounces for water. So here's your bacteria. This gut is alive. These are your pro-gut bacterium. This fights off infection. 70 to 80% of your immunity comes from your gut. But more importantly, these guys are working all day to digest your food so you could produce vitamins and minerals so you could get that into the mitochondria. What could go wrong at this level? Hormonal changes, not just menopause or anything like that. You could get an excessive amount of stress. Stress could kill off about 50% of your bacteria. Again, if you don't have this bacteria in the gut, you're not going to produce hormones. You're not going to produce amino acids for your brain. It's vital. So the other thing that could cause it to decrease is sugar and alcohol. It changes the pH of the cell. Cells can't work in acidic pH. Neither can your bacterium. You need to keep these guys alive. Medications, antibiotics, and acid reducers. So we will become very toxic, and you can't absorb. This is the science behind that. Remember, you have 3 phases. So if you cannot digest your fats to get them to cholesterol, and you cannot digest your carbohydrates to get to glucose, and you cannot digest your proteins to get to amino acids, you will be a very, very depleted body, hormonally, nutritionally, and mind. Here's the production of hormones. Cholesterol. It starts with cholesterol. Your cholesterol should be above the 140. Anything less than 140, you're not producing hormones. Remember this. So it produces pregnenolone, DHEA, which is for memory, progesterone, which is calming, that's your mood enhancer, also your period regulator, and for infertility, and your testosterone, which is your bone builder, and also your muscle builder. So people that have low cholesterol diets and they can't get their fats in, they'll have osteoporosis and disease entities. These are the foods that increase our good bacterium. So our good bacterium has to eat, just like we have to eat for energy, right? So anything that basically is rounded, like multiple layers, so such as cabbage, garlic, onions, again, going back to let food be thy medicine. If you can't get it in food, you get it in probiotic form. So probiotics, the one I recommend is MD Logic. It's pH balanced past the gastric system and gets in there and for also digestion. So this is the real importance, because it comes down to people. This is my mom, 82 years old, enjoying her family, her grandchildren, and her great-grandchildren. So to summarize, it's a mindset. You have to choose the right foods, right? Water over soda. You have to avoid sugar. You don't want the acid in there. You don't want to kill off good bacterium. And you have to keep your bacteria alive. Bottom line, you can't get it in food, then you take supplement. Medicine is last. Got it? You can visit drcarfora.com for more information. So now we've talked about digestion. We're breaking down our fats, going into cholesterol, going into hormone production. Carbohydrates to glucose to muscle energy. Proteins to amino acids and going into the brain. Remember, mitochondrial. Now we go into metabolism, this second phase of cellular energy of the Krebs cycle. So with metabolism, it's B vitamins and magnesium. Remember, food first, right? Let food be thy medicine, Hippocrates says. And again, before Christ, this is not new. We must eat well. So we must feed these cells. We must get that mitochondria to produce energy so we could get up and run and go, right? So certain medicines that decrease these B12s could be acid reducers, beta blockers for blood pressure, and metformin. And we just have to be responsible as clinicians. If you put someone on a medication, know what you're depleting. So this way you could give them that supplement for that depletion. Very, very important. So this is the importance of hormones. Estrogen has over 400 functions in the body, starting from the brain, so thought processing, eyes, vision, thyroid, taste, stomach, skin, the whole thing. So when you're not producing fats to produce cholesterol, to produce hormones, look at all these functions you're missing. Look at your progesterone. Progesterone's your calming agent. It relaxes your blood pressure, lowers blood pressure, dilates blood vessels. Okay, look how many things also that you could be depleted if you are not letting food be thy medicine. Testosterone, muscle and bone, libido, bone strength. Osteoporosis develops when you have low testosterone. And men and women have testosterone. And guys, you do have estrogen. So you should get your estrogen levels checked. DHEA, memory, stress, libido, immunity. DHEA is great for arthritis. So low DHEA, you'll have arthritic symptoms. You'll have inflammation. And cortisol, which is your stress hormone. So amino acids, so going back into the proteins, amino acids, breaking down into amino acids goes to the brain. Here's to mention a few. Tryptophan. Tryptophan produces serotonin. Serotonin is your own natural antidepressant. Okay? Again, if you don't let food be thy medicine, you're not breaking down the food, you are being defective at this level. Tyrosine is your quick thinker. You're real quick thinking, and it produces your dopamine. Norepinephrine. Norepinephrine is your thought process. And epinephrine is your get up and go. So again, if you're depleted in your amino acids, you're not going to have any get up and go, right? So this is always a picture speaks 1,000 words. So here you have low progesterone, low estrogen, low testosterone, low cortisol. Men have estrogen, men have testosterone, and men have progesterone. So don't think you guys just have testosterone. So if you are lowered in all of this fat to cholesterol and you can't produce all those hormones, you are going to be very depleted. Same thing with the amino acids. The amino acids, tyrosine, and I just mentioned before, right? So this is a picture of somebody that is not getting nutritional medicine. So are you sure you're getting adequate nutrition? If you're one that's eating right and you hear this in my office, oh, I'm eating right, I don't know what's going on, doc, well, then we have to look at your gut. Just like, again, those live bacteria. And there's a lot of steps to go to get all of this to the mitochondria for you to get energy. If you can't get it, you are going to have a broken body. Most of you read about my patient in that magazine, the Naval magazine. You know, that is her quote, a broken body. I was a broken body until I came into you, Dr. Carfora, and she was broken. She was depressed, she was anxious, she was sleep deprived, and she also suffered from hormonal imbalance, that she had a hysterectomy, and that really is what led her to a lot of her demise. So this is the real importance of hormonal balance. This is my son with his great aunt. Great aunt is 91 years old. She's beautiful. And this lady over here, she's 88 years old. These two ate the Mediterranean diet, Italian and Spanish, and that's it. And they don't do anything else. They're amazing women. And they're both alive today enjoying life. And again, that's what it's about. We could talk about the science behind it, but it's truly the people that are behind it. So the last stage of cellular energy is the production of energy. So you have digestion, we have metabolism, we're taking out B's, our magnesium, getting in food source. Now we have to turn the switch on. The thing that turns on the switch is CoQ10. Things that lower CoQ10 are a lot of the cholesterol medications. So we turn the switch on, now we've got energy. So here's a picture of my daughter. So she's eating well, right? She took in the right foods. She's digesting the food. She's getting them into the mitochondria. She's producing energy. She's breaking those things into amino acids, getting into the brain. She's not depressed. She's happy, and she's just balancing herself here. So if you can't get it in food and let food be thy medicine, then take it in supplement form. Supplements I recommend. If you need fat, you take omega-3, omega-6, or krill. If you need any fruits and vegetables, I recommend Juice Plus. If you need protein, I use Foxwoods Protein, the organic, certified organic green protein. If you need a probiotic, I use Doctor's Choice by MD Logic. The booth is outside. And then Methyl Complete, which is B6, 12 folic acid, magnesium, CoQ10. We've got it all here to go. How much do you take? Always get your levels checked. I practice anti-aging regenerative medicine. I want people's levels. I want to know how you're metabolizing things, what's your genetics, what's your levels of your hormones, what's your levels of your vitamins, nutrients. You have to take the whole picture here, okay? And that's that. Then you build a broken body up to a really healthy body. So visit drcarfora.com. This is my husband and I. I always say, if you let your cells breathe, stay healthy, stay active, enjoy life, and feed your cells, right? Because it's all about feeding your cells, oxygenating them, letting your cells breathe, and that's the Krebs cycle. So if your cells breathe, you could breathe. So when we all could take a deep breath now. Get that air in, okay? All right, enjoy your weekend.